I like spring. Okay, I like fall and winter and summer too, but I like spring a lot. And right now it's spring, and so I decided to film my video outside. And let's see what the outdoors look like. Okay, trees, sunshine, lots more trees. I like the outdoors, if you couldn't tell. Okay, so we're back. No more going on tangents. My question today, and I'm pretty sure I phrased my question wrong, so bear with me. My question is, do I expect too much from God? Yes, do I expect too much from God? And I don't think I have this right at all, because God is beyond bounds and beyond limits, and we simply can't understand all of Him. But here's what I mean by my question. Actually, this involves a story. So, yesterday I was on campus, and I had a while before I had to go anywhere in particular, and it was the evening, and the sun was setting, and the whole world was amazing. And I walked around the lake nearby where I was, and it was windy and just starting to get a little bit cold, and all the trees had leaves on them, and the sky was blue and orange and pink, and everything was reflecting off of the lake. It was so pretty, and the wind was blowing things around. I felt wonderful. I felt like dancing, but I had my school bag with me. But anyhow, so I was sitting out there, and then I found this bench, which no one had taken, and so I sat on the bench and just thought for a while, and then set my stuff down, danced around. But getting on with my question, and back to the story. Whenever I'm outdoors, I always feel like it's prime time for communication with God. And so, being outdoors reminds me about God all the time. Whenever I take a walk outside, it doesn't matter. I'm always thinking about God when I'm outside because it's just so full of Him. I love it. And so I always feel like when I get to walk around outside by myself, I should be thinking about God, and it'd always be a tragedy if I wasn't. And so I usually do, but the way I feel is I think God should speak to me. And so when I get, it's windy. When I get the opportunity to be outside, I want God to talk to me. I want to hear His voice. And so I kind of expect that whenever I get to be outside, it means that I'm going to have this like epic conversation with God. And sometimes it doesn't really happen because, well, yesterday I was just outside and I was sitting and listening to some of my favorite music and thinking about things, but it wasn't like God revealed this big important truth to me that I hadn't known before. It was still really wonderful. I just thought about truths that I already knew, and that was comforting. I felt very loved. But I just wonder if it's wrong to expect God to somehow reveal Himself to me just because I'm outdoors in a wonderful evening. I wonder if Here we go. I have this thing that I kind of always want to be on somewhat of a spiritual high. I always want to feel God. I love to feel things. And so when I can't feel God, that annoys me so much. And so I think, okay, well, I need to pursue Him even more and get even closer to Him, which is true. But is it reasonable to expect a God feeling all of the time? And I just don't know. What do you think? I guess the way feelings work, they kind of inherently change. You can't always be feeling one way. And so maybe it is quite unreasonable to expect a God feeling all the time. But is it unreasonable to expect a God feeling at some times? Like when the weather is wonderful and it just seems like it would be perfect? I'm not sure. So I have an idea. Maybe I have my question all wrong. That's kind of what I thought in the beginning. Maybe I shouldn't be expecting anything from God. My original question was, do I expect too much from God? And maybe I don't need to expect anything at all from Him because I'm already His. I already know what I have. I can be certain in what I have and not have to always be expecting some sort of experience with that God because He is already mine and I'm already His. So maybe it's more like that. Instead of having to hope that suddenly God will reveal Himself to me, I can stand firm in what I already know and operate on the truths that He's given me and trust in His timing to teach me and reveal to me whatever I do need to know. And I think I like that way of looking at it much better, because otherwise I kind of feel bad. Maybe if God was trying to talk to me and I wasn't listening hard enough because I was too caught up in the wonder of the world. I always wonder if that's what's happening, and if I'm missing out on something God is trying to tell me. When maybe sometimes I have to stop trying to expect a feeling or an experience and simply abide in what I already have. And so that's what I think. I think the question should not be, do I expect too much from God at all? Instead, we should be certain in what we already know about God, because He will fulfill His promises. So, those are my thoughts for you today. Have a wonderful weekend, and see you next week.